Untouchable. Complete the game without using any health items is a gold trophy that you can unlock in Tormented Souls, which is a homage to the classic PS1 Resident Evil games, as it's a old school survival horror in which you explore a luxury building, finding items and solving puzzles which allow you to gain access to more rooms of the building and delve further into the mystery of why you are there, all the while avoiding the many nightmarish creatures that lurk just off screen waiting to kill you. So it's definitely a game that old school Resident Evil fans like myself will enjoy, and if you've played any of the more recent Resident Evil games on PS4, you would have already done this sort of trophy before, as all of those games tend to have a complete the game without using any healing items, or only using a handful of them. So I went into this game thinking that I would easily be able to get the Untouchable trophy for beating the game without using any healing items, as I'd already done it in all of those Resident Evil games, and this game is only like 3 hours long, so it was going to be even easier, right? However, I was completely wrong, because when I was going for this Untouchable Gold trophy, this easy sounding trophy turned into a bit of a nightmare to unlock.
That one bullshit PlayStation trophy.
So one of the most annoying attacks that some of the enemies in the game do is this like blood spit, where they will just spit a load of blood at you, and because you control like an absolute tank, it can be a right pain in the arse to dodge. However, here, this is where it went really bullshit. So as I go through this gate and down this dark corridor, I notice there's an enemy to my left, so I quickly leg it down the corridor and around this corner, and here I am, and the enemy is clearly still in the corridor. Yet watch what happens as I try to go through this door. It's absolutely bullshit. You can see here, look, this is a solid brick wall, yet the enemy's spit attack is coming through the fucking wall, and not only does it come through the wall, it hits me with pinpoint fucking accuracy. What a load of shit. The attack took me down to caution, and having that much damage already at an early point of the run basically meant that one was over, but it was really annoying to lose it thanks to an attack that went through a fucking wall. That is just bullshit. I was in shock at that point because I didn't really know what happened and why I got hit, and when I ran back down the corridor to see where the enemy was, he was clearly still down the corridor. What a load of bullshit. In order to do well at this trophy, you really need to know the game inside out, knowing what items you'll need, where you need to go, and how to solve all the puzzles in order to get through it effectively. So making a wrong turn can really ruin your run, like it did here when I saw this enemy and I decided to leg it, trying to get back to the main area. I took a turn down this corridor, only to find when I tried to open the door that it was locked from the other side. Fuck's sake, so I quickly tried to turn around and run back up the corridor, but unfortunately, Professor X and Wolverine's love child was just waiting there to greet me with his fucking open arms.
No! God, please, no!
So of course, all the damage from that meant that I'd taken too much already, and I had to just restart the run once again. My god, ruined because I took one wrong turn. Fuck's sake. So with a trophy like this, where you don't want to take any damage, it's a good idea to try and avoid as many enemies as possible, so that you're not in a fight with them, risking getting hit by them. And that's exactly what I try and do here, where I dodge past these two crawling enemies and head into this safe room. And at this point I was feeling good, because I got to the first sort of checkpoint area in the game, and it was my first save that I could make. So I was happy that I didn't have to do the opening again if I messed it up. But as I went to go back through this door into the room with those two crawling enemies, upon opening the door, I was about to face another bullshit problem with the Untouchable trophy.
Oh, hell no!
That motherfucker, look at him, he's literally just camping out at the other side of the door, waiting for me to come through so he can fuck me up. Worse still, I take damage off him before he's actually visually hit me. What a fucking joke. And only now can I actually move, despite me pushing the stick forwards to try and run out the way as soon as I open the door. Fuck's sake. So I tried to reload the save after taking too much damage, and then when I went back through it again, the cunt was still there? Fuck me, this is bullshit. Why has his position not reset? He's literally just waiting for me to kill me. What a fucking joke. So even after dying, going back to the menu and then reloading the save again, the guy was still there, and this time I tried to just try and shoot him as quickly as possible, but because the controls don't work straight away as soon as you go through a door, you're just standing there like a fucking idiot, and you can't fire off enough bullets to stun him before he swings and hits you, so I'm just always forced to take damage now. And I must have tried this loads of times, just trying different things, and there was no possible way for me to avoid this cunt and not take any damage here. And I thought, no fucking way, this is bullshit. I've saved, I'm supposed to be safe at this point, but that just fucked me up because it must have just glitched out and it didn't reset his position. So I had to restart the playthrough again and make sure I killed those enemies next time. Ugh. So as the game is a homage to the old Resident Evil games, it also adapts that old school control, as you have the basic tank controls to move your character around, or you can use the sort of free movement like in the Resi 1 remake with the analog stick movement. However, you'll then be battling the camera and your character changing direction every time the camera changes. So while this is a slight annoyance in a normal playthrough, when you're trying to get through the game without taking any damage so that you don't have to heal for this trophy, getting caught on furniture is a real pain in the arse, especially if you're getting chased by an enemy and you end up clipping against a wall and you can't move, only for the enemy to then hit you and take too much damage. And that happened multiple times throughout this run, and it got really annoying really fast. The enemies are just really frustrating to try and take down in this game, because sometimes you'll be firing a shitload of bullets at an enemy and it will just walk through them all and hit you, and then other times you can fire a couple of bullets into them and then they will get knocked down. It's that random headshot sort of thing that Resident Evil had, but here it doesn't actually kill them in one shot. Instead it will just knock them to the ground, and then you have to pour even more bullets into them. The amount of times I thought there was enough space between me and the enemy when I opened fire, only to find that they would just walk through all my bullets and hit me, was an absolute joke. And it really did make every fight with an enemy even more tense and frustrating, because I didn't know whether they were going to go down in time or not. So in order to get the Platinum Trophy, I had to do 3 full playthroughs of the game, a normal run with the collectibles, a second one for the no heals, and a third one for the no saves. And guess which run had the most randomness with the enemies and what they were doing as I encountered them? It was of course the run where I didn't want to heal. Like this example here, when I came up this stairs and went to try and light the candle, the enemy was already looking at me and aware of my presence and attacked me before I could light the candle, so there'd be enough light in the room to actually get the gun out and shoot him. Yet in my other 2 runs of the game, whenever I came up these stairs doing the exact same thing, I could freely light the candle because he had his back to me and was just sort of idling there waiting for me to just shoot him in the back. And why? What was wrong with that second run? Why did it do these random bullshit things with some of the enemies? And this wasn't the only instance either, but it is the one that I had recorded. So yeah, that was bullshit too. I'm not even going to say anything for this next one. I'll just let the clip do the talking for me. So towards the end of the game, you'll come across these really tall, minor enemies that will just chase after you, Nemesis and Tyrant style, with a giant pickaxe hammer. And in this room where you pick up these 2 items in this little bedside cabinets, it will spawn 2 of these giant enemies in this really small room, and you've got to try and dodge past them and get to the door to escape. And while I did that fine in my normal run, when I was trying to do the no heal run, he did a bullshit 360 spin, clipping through all the environment and hitting me. The final boss. Now, this guy is pretty simple on a normal playthrough to beat. However, when you're doing the Untouchable Trophy and you don't want to heal at all, it becomes a bit of a pain. So at the start, you need to shoot him 6 times with a pistol until he's stunned. You can then freely run to one of the 3 control panels in the room, and you then have to use your shotgun to blast the tentacle to give access to the panel, and it's then a case of solving a simple puzzle. And then you just repeat that process 2 more times to drop down the drill onto him to kill him instantly. So it sounds simple, but when you're doing this trophy, you've more than likely been hit several times already. So at this point, you probably can't take too much more damage before you die. And that's what happened to me here. And I just seem to encounter so many bullshit problems with this fight that I didn't see before. Like here, for the very first time, I failed the simple puzzle, and he shot me and hit me with his spit attack. Yeah, if you watch it in slow motion, you can see that the blood spit goes below the railings, yet somehow it teleports upwards and hits me in the fucking face. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. So at this point I'm panicking because I know I can't take too many hits before I fail this run, so I quickly reload the shotgun and fire at the tentacle again, only to find that it doesn't die. So at this point I'm down to danger and I'm 1 hit away from death now. So again I reload the shotgun and fire at the tentacle once more, and it still doesn't fucking die.
Are you fucking kidding me?
And of course in the meantime the boss has already spat at me again, and then I just die and end up face down in the dirt. Fucking joke. Or how about that time when I was running down the steps after doing that panel, only to get hit by the blood splat when I couldn't really dodge it? Well, this one here, when I'm gone to the second panel and I'm about to shoot the thing with a shotgun and then access the panel, but as I access the panel, he spits blood at me. But I think at that point I'm safe, because it would have already landed while I was doing the puzzle, right? But then, after completing the puzzle, that bit of blood seems to have been frozen in the fucking air, waiting for me to finish it, so it could just hit me in the face. What a fucking joke, man. Fuck me, that is just cruel. So at this point, I'm on danger, and it's just 1 hit away from death. But I've only got 1 more of these panels to access, so I'm almost there. And as I'm running up the stairs, he spits, so I think I'm safe to reload the shotgun and fire the gun, because it'll be a while before he spits again. But oh no, almost instantly after it, he spits again and just cheaply kills me. That was bullshit. And all of that made killing him when I finally did it really, really satisfying. Fuck this boss, it's bullshit when going for this trophy.
Alright, here we go. Let's go! Oh, shit! Shit! Oh, Alright, hold on. I'll see if there's an... Oh, shit! Oh, shit!